You can't say no because the little child inside you always wants to be loved, always to be accepted, always to be valued. But here's the reality. Your inability to say no does not mean that people love you. On the contrary, it pushes them away. Because when people get used to always taking from you, the moment you stop giving, they start blaming you. You thought it was a virtue to be kind, but that kindness turned into the very thing that hurt you the most. Without realizing it, you gave up on yourself. You spread yourself thin. In trying to be enough for everyone, you left nothing for yourself. Someone told me the other day that they said yes to something they didn't want just so the other person wouldn't feel bad. Does that sound familiar? And do you remember those sleepless nights? The moments when you questioned yourself asking, why did I say yes to this? Every time you say yes, you make your own voice a little quieter. You pour yourself out to everyone as if you have infinite energy. But even the light in you can burn out. Carrying everyone's burdens doesn't make you strong, it drains you. The inability to say no is a byproduct of this deep-seated need for approval. You ignore your own limits just to be liked, to be accepted. But that's not love, that's self-destruction. You need to understand something. If you keep sacrificing yourself to meet everyone else's needs, one day there won't be anything left for you because you exist not by giving yourself away, but by protecting yourself. One day you'll wake up and realize how much people have taken from you. And when that day comes, what will be left? Unless you start drawing boundaries, you'll always feel incomplete. Imagine being constantly molded by the wishes of others. When people ask you for something, you instinctively agree, as if saying no would destroy the world. But the truth is that you're destroying your world. Your own world. Always trying to please others makes you feel like a prisoner, doesn't it? But you have tied the chains of this prison with your own hands, because every yes was really a no to yourself. You distribute yourself to everyone as if you had infinite energy inside you. But the light inside you is also running out. Trying to be enough for everyone means that in the end you are not enough for yourself. The more you ignore yourself to fulfill the needs of others, the greater the emptiness within you. One day, your best friend asked for your help. You spent hours solving her problems. You put aside your own work. But where is she when you need her? The answer is simple. No one sacrifices as much as you do. Because you are used to serving them. You get tired of trying to please. Because once people get used to receiving, they want more and more. If you don't set limits, they will always want more. People who really love you try to understand when you say no. But those who are only in it for themselves will blame you if you say no. Ask yourself, do you need to exist for their satisfaction? Do the people who blame you for saying no really care about you or only about the benefits you offer? Real relationships accept boundaries. Those who are used to consuming will leave you when you say enough. Perhaps the biggest lie is setting boundaries makes you selfish, but it's the opposite. Setting boundaries is self-protection. It is defining your own space. And if you don't protect yourself in this world, who's going to protect you? You are always taught to be sacrificial. That you should always give. But when those sacrifices wear you down, who will stand by you? Who will protect you in the same way? Setting limits is not a bad thing. On the contrary, it's a necessity for survival. Because if everyone demands things of you, if you don't protect your own space, one day you will be completely exhausted. I had a friend. He helped everyone, ran to every problem. But one day, when he was in trouble, no one was there for him. because these people were used to him saying yes all the time. Whenever he tried to set his own limits, he was told he was being selfish. But what was really happening was this: she was just trying to protect herself. Setting boundaries means valuing yourself, not people. It means not wasting your energy. It means creating a space for yourself and being safe there. If someone tells you that you are being selfish by setting boundaries, remember this: they just want to take more from you because in their eyes you have no limits. And as long as you don't set those boundaries, they will continue to take. Ask yourself this: am I always going to save others in this life? Or am I going to save myself for once? Are there people who don't like it when you say no? That's perfect. Because that is when you start to see who is hiding their true identity. As long as you can't say no, they will continue to use you. Every time you say yes, they pull you deeper and deeper. Without realizing it, you become a slave to their demands. Think about it. How many times have you wanted to say no but couldn't? How many times have you compromised yourself just to avoid offending the other person? Was anyone there for you? Or were they just using you for their own gain? A friend of mine recently told me that she had said no to an acquaintance who kept asking for help. She felt very uncomfortable at first. She felt bad. But the real shock came when she met the person. From the moment he said no, the other person suddenly became distant and cold. At that moment, he realized that his friendship with this person was only a relationship of interest. Saying no was actually dropping a mask. And when the mask fell, the reality underneath was very ugly. Perhaps you have been in this situation. Maybe there were people who left you when you said no. Now, looking back, how do you judge whether they were real friends or not? If a person only stays with you as long as they expect you to say yes, they are not a friend. Saying no is actually a filter. Those who really care about you will stay with you even if you say no. But those who are just using you for their own gain will leave as soon as they hear that word. Are there people who don't like you when you say no? Let them be. For the moment you can say no, your true power is revealed. And that power will attract people who truly love you. As you teach yourself to set boundaries, don't be afraid to be alone. For true friends are those who respect your boundaries. Setting limits can be overwhelming because you have always felt obliged to say yes to everyone. Maybe you thought the number of people who loved you was measured by the sacrifices you made. But the reality is that every time you say yes, you sacrifice another piece of yourself. The first step in setting limits is to be honest with yourself. It's hard to say what you don't want if you don't know what you want. You have to understand your own wants, your own needs. Otherwise, you will never be able to avoid giving in to what others want. One day, someone said to me, "Every time I give up myself to make others happy, I can't say no to them because I'm afraid they won't love me." There is a truth in this sentence. People are often afraid to say no because they are afraid of being alone. But remember this: true friends stick with you even when you say no. So the first step in setting boundaries is to recognize your fears. Ask yourself, why can't I say no? Do these people really care about me, or do they just like the benefits I bring them? Now let's move on to practical steps. First, start with small numbers. If someone asks you to do something you don't want to do, start by saying, "No, I can't do that." It's normal for your voice to shake or for you to feel bad. That's because you're creating a new habit. Next, make a list to set your limits. Write down who you want to limit and what you want to limit. It could be financial, emotional, or time limits. Remind yourself of this list. And every time you say no, give yourself a reward, because every no is really a yes to yourself. Say to yourself, setting limits is not selfish. Setting limits means respecting myself. And when you show that respect to yourself, the people in your life will start to see you that way. Is there a moment when you realize that you are giving everything and getting nothing in return? When you are tired of trying to please people? Yes, that is the feeling of burnout. And it is caused by not knowing how to protect yourself. Protecting yourself emotionally does not mean building a wall around you. It means creating a filter. It's about deciding who comes in and who goes out of your life. Because if you let everyone consume you, there's nothing left. I had a friend. He listened to everyone's problems and tried to solve every problem. But one day when he looked for support, no one was there, because he had given so much that there was nothing left for him. That day she realized that emotional protection is not just a right, it is an obligation. The first step in protecting yourself emotionally is to recognize toxic people. Do people in your life always try to use you? Do they only tell you about their problems and don't care about you? At this point, you need to cut them out of your life. Ask yourself this question: is this person draining my energy or empowering me? If the answer is draining, stop and step back. Emotional protection is like a powerful shield. It doesn't allow anyone to upset you, to drain you. It protects your own space and allows you to breathe freely in it, because everyone should be able to protect their own emotional boundaries. You get it now, don't you? Every time you say yes, you tear off another piece of yourself. You are ignoring your own worth. How long will this go on? Will you spend your life trying to please everyone else? Or will you finally choose to live for yourself? Saying no is not just a word. It's a liberation, a return to yourself, a reinvention of yourself. If you don't do this, others will take over your life. Because a person who doesn't set limits has given his life over to the wishes of others. I once had a friend who said yes to everything. He gave up his own work and tried to please everyone. But one day he decided to set his own limits. The first time she said no, she saw the face of the person in front of her change. She realized that the people who were angry and blaming her were actually ignoring her sacrifices. The truth is, people may call you selfish for pushing your boundaries and saying no, but it's not about who you really are. It's about their demands and whether or not you give in to them. Now ask yourself, was I put on this earth to submit to the demands of others? If the answer is no, then you must learn to say no. It takes courage to say no. It takes strength. But above all, it shows respect for yourself. When a person says no, you can see their strength. Because someone who can say no is someone who knows their own value, someone who defends themselves, someone who protects their space. And remember, saying no doesn't leave you alone. It keeps true friends by your side. It only drives away those who use you. And that's not a bad thing. It's a cleansing thing. Those who really care about you are the ones who respect your boundaries. From today, don't be afraid to say no. Using this word makes you strong, not weak. The sooner you accept it, the sooner you will be free. Now make a promise to yourself. I will protect my boundaries. I will not be afraid to say no, because this is my life and I am in control of it.